back, lovers and friends. It's your boy Trigger Troy, and this is Love Journal, my journey into healing and relearning love through sharing my experiences and thoughts with like minded individuals. Somewhat like my very own therapy sessions, but with an audience. Now, today is special because this is an idea that I came up with called a revamp episode. The idea is simple, a revamp of a previous episode topic with a different guest. As I've said before, I know love can't be relearned and healed and taught and all those things in just one episode, or in therapy terms, one session. So I thought this would be a good way to notice the different perspectives with the common threads. This is a revamp of the first episode topic. Where do we draw the line between compromise or forgiveness and losing ourselves and what we do for our partners? It can be something so simple, but if we do it consistently, it can become less forgiveness, less compromise, and more, or I guess technically less, of yourself. Personally, I've lost myself very often in love or in the pursuit of love, and in all those attempts, I compromised a part of myself or forgave in things that I shouldn't have. So with that, the quote for the episode topic was, previously, love is constant forgiveness from Beyonce. Now, I have a better understanding of this quote at the moment, but I feel that, this depends on the situation. What am I forgiving? What am I compromising on? Am I losing myself? Last time my guest for the topic was my best friend Jessica, and she helped me understand that the right person won't ask you to do things that will make you lose yourself in a negative way. You may lose yourself or change and compromise in love, but if it's love, then those things won't be bad things. Things that will make you dishonor or disrespect yourself. So, with that, I actually want to go ahead and hop into the revamp guest. And I felt that it was only right, to have another longtime friend of mine, but also Jessica's cousin, So I think that made all the more sense to have her be the guest for the revamp episode of the same topic that Jessica covered, Um, to have extremely similar, I think, perspectives, but definitely different views, if that makes sense. I don't know. Either way, the rebel minded woman herself, Miss Jasmine Monet. And how are you, love?
I am well. How are you, friend?
I'm great. It's funny because we were just kind of saying, but it's like I talked to you when this was like an idea, and I was still like jotting it down in a notepad, and then like here I am talking to you like 7 months later, and I'm like 7 episodes in, like
And works like
man,
operation.
it definitely
And
does. So I just appreciate you for being a part of that process, both times.
I'm happy to be a part of it, and I'm extremely proud of you. Just
Thank you,
doing
thank you.
it.
Proud of you too. Just because like I like at first again I was saying too I really had to make sure I had you on the episode because you're one of the people who's like journeys I pay attention to.
Um,
So I'm just like oh she did that. That's what's up. Oh okay yeah, I see you. Like what I'm saying. Even if I don't always comment on it, like I'm like I'm definitely present in that sense. So it's like you're one of the people that I just had to make sure I had on here. So
I love that.
yes, of course, of course. And then this one is a special episode. It's first episode of the year, but this idea that I came up with that I told you is the revamp episode, which is just a similar interview, similar questions that I've done, but with a different person, to get that different perspective and to really just dive into some of that common knowledge and again, like I said, the different perspectives too. So um, that should be fun.
I'm ready for it.
Yes, yes. So, I'll go ahead and get started. The topic for this revamp is pretty much the thin line between losing ourselves and compromise and what we do for our lovers. And
Okay.
so, the first question I have for you is: have you ever lost yourself in love?
I have lost myself. Was it for love? To be honest, no. It was for mad lust. This is very obviously younger me.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Oh,
I'm,
that's deep. Yeah.
I lost myself for what I thought that was love. Looking back at it, obviously it wasn't. It was just deep lust that I had for a person, to the point where after I ended things, I had to relearn who I was. That's how lost I was.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
obviously to a sense of the important things that didn't exist to me anymore, because with that, it was mainly catering to him and his way and how he wants, what he would like to do.
Yeah.
And not in every little single thing, but most things, to the point where it's like, okay, I guess we can go along with that. Obviously, this is a young, naive me.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was and he was older than me by a good 5 years.
Ain't that always the story?
Like looking up to that, it's like, oh, okay, well, he knows he
must
knows
know,
yeah. You know what I'm saying? Well, okay, well, I guess we can go with his ideas versus my ideas, to the point where the balance of me having what I wanted for myself was just slowly, the scale was turning in its favor every single time. Yeah. And it became my normal. You know what I'm saying? Where I definitely lost myself as a person when it came to certain things. So
I love how you started that, because there was like a story that I pretty much wanted to share that I shared this episode of, like, there was like a situationship that I was in, and I dealt with a lot of shit in that situation, because in the back of my mind I told myself that I was doing it for love. You know what I'm saying? It was like, well, this is one day, this is gonna be this thing, like, and it was like, okay, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I remember the story specifically was this one night I basically spent the night with him and a guy that he was like dating or whatever, and it was wild.
Both the guys at the same on this. Wait.
So okay.
No. Wait, we said just like.
So yeah, no, you can't just slide past that.
You can't even slide past that. A little more detail. So wait, you.
So okay, so I'll give the whole story.
Okay.
So we used to hang out all the time, me and the guy, whatever, and this one, he would come pick me up, and we just hang out, spend the night, and one of his brothers, it's not his real brother, but that was the house he would always be over. And so this one day, it was like wintertime, he came to pick me up, and I should have turned around. I should have, like, you know what, I'm just stay home, because as soon as I got outside, it was like him and this one guy that I'd never seen before in the front seat, and his brother in the back seat. And normally I usually sit in the front seat, and like if somebody else up there, they'd get out. Like, it was like that kind of deal, So homeboy wasn't blushing, like he wasn't looking like he about to get out. So I'm like, oh, all right, get my ass in the back. So they talking, flirting, and some of his brothers like, oh yeah, that's his new little one thing or whatever. I was like, oh, okay, like they talking and stuff. So we basically went back to his brother's house. It ended up being a snowstorm.
Okay.
And so we were like, basically had to stay there. And his brother went to his room to sleep. So I'm in the living room on the couch, and they're like on in like the dining room area, because it wasn't like dining room furniture, so it was just like a little floor. And so they were over there with the little paddle on the ground, laughing and talking and being cute. And here I am sitting there, and I had to spend a night because it's a fucking snowstorm. And I'm like in love with this man, like.
Right. And you get away because it's snowstorm.
So I just had you say it.
They're in a bad situation.
Like, and it was like, I remember.
Did he know that you were like in love with him?
Oh yeah. Oh fuck yeah.
Like okay, well, Brendan likes me, so whatever.
Let me not. Yeah, it was like.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, what's you saying, like, which it wasn't, you didn't lose it for love, you actually lost it for lust, is because that's it. You know what I'm saying? Because love wouldn't have made me go through that.
Exactly. And then for you, like, younger us versions of us, we think we're being in love, and maybe just mad.
Oh, I was.
Listen, I've been in situations and scenarios. I love him. No, you don't.
Like,
you think you do. You know what I'm saying? And it feels good at the time. You know, but yeah.
And the crazy thing is, I don't even know if it feels good or if the fantasy of what you want it to be is what feels good.
The potential,
Yeah,
yeah. And the facade sometimes it just seems so surreal. I definitely potential
it's
is
like when it's good, it's just like, oh my
yeah.
god, yes, this is
Like
like,
okay, mine's because I didn't get into much like the details of things I lost. The simple things. This
yeah.
is crazy. The food I was eating, like I forgot what type of meals I like. It was just it was
But it
I
will
was going
get
to like
like
eat like
that.
that Coney Island, that basic shit,
Yeah.
Coney and listen, there ain't nothing wrong with Coney Island. Let me just
Okay, because I will
establish
be
that.
eating that as a billionaire. I'll
Okay.
be a billionaire flying out conies.
Let me
Like,
establish that for people that love Coney Island. I grew up Coney Island, even
yes,
though my whole diet and lifestyle is vegan and
yes,
vegetarian, but I'm still recognize Coney Island was still good back then,
yeah,
But it was just like stuff that I like to eat. I was eating his stuff,
yeah,
and he'll buy food for us and meals he like and movies he want to go see. He like action, I like romance, and
yeah. And it's like,
I don't
okay.
mind. It was just like little basic. It was
Sitting there
petty, like
acting excited because like you want to
I
see Star
I
Wars.
looked at a exciting, nice romance movie by my damn self. After this, I was like, dang, I forgot I like this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like when you deprive yourself of it, it's like, oh
Yeah,
shit, stuff I like. That was a big eye opener for me, and I'm like,
yeah,
dang, I forgot. Like that's
yeah.
how like in tune I was with trying to find, what
It's
in
like you
tune with
trying to
he
hop
was.
on there
Yeah, and
like on a
satisfied.
platform or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
and those men and women in general or significant others that we think that one way road street is
yeah,
first sign of a narcissist. You know what I'm saying? Those one path
completely.
ass people that don't consider how you feel, or even if it's like, let me see, do you want, what about you? Do you like, ask some questions back and stuff like that. But like I
Right.
said, I felt, oh, this is nothing because it was nothing major, but everything accumulated afterwards. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it starts to
Yeah.
and that kind of leads me a little bit to the next question because like like I said I'm pretty sure that was one of the worst things I've done for I'll put it in quotations for love.
Right.
Literally spending the night with a guy as he is like literally hearing them fall in like I'm hearing them fall for each other because I'm hearing the conversation. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't fall asleep. Like
Did they have sex?
um
Or
they
you
did
there?
they did something but they went outside in the car.
Okay.
Did that.
Uh, the least they could do, I guess.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. Okay, the fucking least you could do.
Red is here. Let's just go
Let's
outside.
just go outside. Like that's the least you can do. Thanks, but like, at least for the moment, that's the worst I can think of. So, what's if it's not like how you're just saying like the food and everything? Like, what's the worst thing that you think you've done to where it's like, okay, oh bitch, oh okay, wait a minute.
Just like completely like, all right, this is not even me. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Let's see. That's a good one. The worst thing.
and it's like, actually, you know what? I know the worst thing. I know what I know.
Okay. Well, you go first.
Okay. Um,
Come back to me.
telling having a friend and someone I am in love with having a relationship behind my back and me telling them it's okay, knowing that it pissed me off and hurt
Mm.
me and just like I it destroyed me. Like I remember the boy who went through that, I was destroyed by that and like I was like, no, it's that's okay. I mean, no, it's it's fine.
Mm.
No, because you guys deserve each other. It's okay. It's cool. It's
And this,
fine.
you're telling the guy himself, the one that you're in love with, like it's okay, go ahead.
Him and the friend. I told both of them. Like
Oh,
no,
like
it's yeah. I was like,
mm.
it's okay.
And they're
and
like, what was their response? They were like, okay, y'all,
um,
like,
well, so the guy he was fucking down for it. The friend did choose me, which was like okay, but it was just like it was a lot. That was a big hit for me, like romantically because it was just like someone I had so much feelings for. Who, looking back after all the shit he fucking put me through, this is the same guy who made me sleep in the fucking
like,
in the living room with him falling in love in the next room. Like so, I shouldn't have had those feelings for him anyway, and that's what that situation is when it started to, and I started to like break myself away. But like it was devastating, you know what I'm saying? And for me to act like it didn't hurt and act like it was cool and okay, so that like I think in my mind I wanted to look valiant or something. Maybe like, oh wow, he really does care. Maybe
Right?
I'm picking
What's
the
the bigger
wrong
person?
guy.
You want to be like, I don't need y'all. Like, I'm good, even though deep down you love.
Yeah.
So I get it, and then it's just like you probably wasn't ready to say that at that time
No,
because that
no.
I hurt anything. Okay, with that, mine's would be okay because the dude was, mind you, trash back then.
Yeah.
Like I was just accepting the bare minimum from
Weren't we all?
this man. He was trash. He was everything you could think of, but maybe like an abuser, physical abuser. Like he was
Yeah.
a liar, he was a cheater. He was like just pure trash. I
Oh shit.
remember, okay, his one of his he had a girl that he was talking to as well,
Mm.
and this is also a dude, which this is why I don't date in the workspace type stuff. I met him in a workspace. Huh. So this girl knew where he worked at. This girl that he always, I don't this she was there before me.
Yeah.
Let's just add that, me finding out later on. And I remember her, like, he came and we had to go to work for some reason. I don't know what happened, but he came to my place. It was like, are you able to take us to work? Like, can I ride with you? Blah
Yeah.
blah. Yeah, something happened. He didn't
Yeah.
want to go into details with it. So I'm like,
All
okay,
right.
like, is this abnormal? But sure, why not? Like, in my head, you know me, why not? Like, I don't know what you're going through. I'm just going through a lot right now, blah, blah, whatever. Soon I pulled up to work. The girl was waiting for him
Mm.
in the parking lot. I get out the car first. I don't know what happened. What made me do that, because he stayed lagged behind. Maybe he peaked game and I didn't know. But I was like, I'm gonna go into work, like whatever. I'm like, I don't know what you're going through, or a phone call you
Right.
gotta make before you go to work, whatever. I get out the car and I head towards the work. The girl comes with the car, attempts, quote unquote, to think that she was trying to scare me or rile me up or whatever, as if
Right.
she hit me with the car.
So don't go to work.
She did. You know what I'm saying? Like she thought that was something like, ooh, like, oh, thank God she was smart enough not to. Let's just say that. So I proceeded. I looked at her like, like just read up her engine, while I'm going, walking past. And then I didn't know who she was. And then I put two and two together, like, oh, this is that girl,
Yeah.
like, I just continue. And me, I don't, honey, I don't, this is a workplace. I don't lose my
Yeah.
job with women. No
Right.
female pay my bills. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
And unless, what I'm saying, like, whenever I have to, like, this is, back then, so it's like, let me be cautious. So I proceeded. I just looked at her, gave her this funny look, whatever, like, bitch, like, you lost your fucking mind. Like, why are you doing the most in the parking lot? But I continue to walk off. Next thing you know, like, she finds him and she's questioning him with everything. I'm inside. It's a security guard out there, like, trying to stop her from, like, cussing him out and
Just the whole
it's just
scene.
so
The whole
dramatic. It's
scene.
the whole scene, and it's something that I knew right then and there. Like, this is not me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't like drama, and I know better. It's like, he ain't shit. You still continue, and then the sad part I still had to work with dude after this. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't even shake him. Like, I couldn't
Right.
even get away from him fully, 100%, because I still have to see him. On top of that, like, I still had to work
Oof.
with dude, and it was just so messy.
Yeah.
And then when you think you love somebody, quote unquote, when you think you love somebody, it's just like, it's so hard to be like, I don't want to deal with you. It'd be easier if I didn't have to see
Yeah. Yeah.
after. But I continued to see him, and then after so long, that anchor started withering away. he's doing all these things he can do to try to win me back and all that, and I end up falling right back for the bait.
Oh yeah, yeah. It took me a while. It took me a while to break
You
away.
know, but I had to leave that job. I was done. When I left the job, I was done with him completely. I was
Yeah,
like,
I look. You should
not
have had you
because
on
of
the
him,
last
but
episode. That was about working with spouses or people you've dated, and
yeah, that's just
that's
it's
just
just.
deep.
And I don't judge anybody that finds love in the workplace. Baby, if that's what you did, good luck, good
But
job.
be prepared for
Um,
the consequence. Like,
yeah, especially if it's never starting off organic and authentic. If it's starting off like, on some shit that John wasn't supposed to be on in the first place, that's just bad business from there.
yeah,
But
yeah.
some people even get married from their work partners, and good job for them. I'm proud of them. And I'm not gonna, and for years afterwards, I was like, I'm never going to date anybody in my workplace or my career. I'm not. But the mature, grown woman me
Yeah.
now, I can't. I'm smart enough not to set those boundaries for myself for
Yeah.
love, because I love love more than I love anything.
Yeah.
As a Pisces, passionate Pisces, love is everything to me. And not saying like, oh, I'm craving it and I want it every day, but it's just like I
No,
shouldn't. I'm
I'm
not
a
gonna
I'm
put
a Venus
boundaries.
Taurus. I'm double ruled by Venus because I'm a fucking Taurus sun and a Libra moon. So like
Okay.
I'm loved all out. Like
Yeah, love is everything. I
so.
have especially romanticizing everything. I romanticize my life
Yes.
every day now, friend. It's ridiculous. Like everything I do, it's lux and
Yep.
romanticizing for
Yep.
myself.
But you have to. But
You
it's so like just to like relate it back to what you were saying though, like about
have,
like how we kind of wither away from those relationships. Like before I say my next point, I'll say like I think it comes from finding yourself. Like
mm-hmm.
obviously you get to the point where you lose yourself and you like it ain't compromised no more. You're fucking gone. You're gone. And it's
Yeah.
like you either notice it and want to find you, or
Mm-hmm.
you just unfortunately that's it and you're just gone. And there are those relationships out there that are like that, and I pray that everybody that is in something like that finds that spot. But so when you get to that spot, it's like yeah, I go back, but it's like almost every time you do go back, you feel a little bit more ashamed. When it's like
Yeah.
into that
Yeah.
last time, and it's
It's
like
definitely something not to be
okay,
proud
this
of,
is okay, this is
but it's
fucking
definitely
stupid.
something that, like, if you're smart enough and you're valued, when you establish the value and stuff, never ever to go back there again into
Mm-hmm.
that mentality or that time frame or that place in life where you're giving yourself up for somebody that doesn't even it shouldn't even be an option. You know what I'm saying? I
And
definitely
yeah,
like it's a lesson learned for sure. For sure. And I had to go through it to know that, okay, I would never do this stupid shit for the future. You know what I'm saying? Because some
yeah,
people,
yeah.
like, will do this,
It's like
do
required
it.
lessons,
Yeah.
essentially.
And I'm a type of woman, like, it doesn't take me 3 times to
Mm.
realize, oh, well, maybe this should change the fourth time. Like, no, the first and second time didn't work.
So,
Get the fuck on
you
to
know
the third
what?
time. You know?
Yeah, but
Like,
like
don't ever do this shit again.
I
Like,
think you said the perfect word though, value too.
yeah.
Like, and
Yeah.
that comes like I think once you know, and it's kind of like one of the conclusions I had with the last episode. Like once you respect yourself and you know your worth and your value and like the lines that you're willing to cross and not cross,
Yeah.
it it's kind of almost hard then for you to lose yourself for love. It's like, oh, you need to do
Yeah,
what?
because
It's because you're like, oh, I'm not gonna do
you're up here.
this.
You're on this pedestal. I'm trying to
Yeah,
tell you. I tell all my homegirls that
yeah,
come to me, I said, value. You have to add value to yourself, and you
yeah,
cannot do it. It's not going to happen overnight.
yeah,
Once you're at a low point or a point where you're like, I can't take anymore. It's only up from there.
yeah.
Add value to yourself, even if it's a little bit every day. You have to. I'm so high on fucking value now. Like, don't even look my
Like,
way.
don't even.
Don't
Yeah,
even look my
yeah,
way. If you're not I'm like this, and this is maybe a little quote from somebody else. I'm like a diamond. Like I'm very cherishable.
okay. Let
You
me
have
clap
you
on
have to
that.
go down and cherish the fuck out that diamond. If you can't treat me like a diamond, and I'm talking about a big stone, I'm not talking
Yeah,
about anything small.
not
You
not the
can't treat me.
little. Yeah,
That's but obviously that came with over time. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? That with, all right, what do I see myself that I need to multiply or increase or add to make me feel,
Yeah.
because my mind always been this way, but I need to get it full control of it
Yeah.
to know,
Yeah.
okay, even on the outside, all the way to the inside, it needs to align, you
Yeah.
know. And like I said this before, you can. This is the same. And I don't down anybody that's out here doing plastic surgeries or anything like that.
Yeah.
But you can change your body all you want, baby girl.
If the
Hey,
inside, I mean, I'm
but
sorry,
that
TLC
inside
was
ain't
unpretty,
aligned.
was unpretty.
I
You
mean,
can
yeah.
you can
If
buy
it's
your
not,
hair if it won't grow.
Beyonce never lied. If it's not aligned, if you don't, you can look like $100, that $100 bill, but your mind is only 25 cents, is
Mm-hmm.
not going to add. It's
Yeah.
fraudulent. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Not going to add up. You have to have both. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whether it's natural or if you forced it on the outside. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But at least make sure that inside do the work.
Because then
Do the
that's how you get to the place where you
that's how you maintain.
yeah yeah maintain yes just
You have to
in
maintain
general.
characteristic through that.
Because it's
If not,
like
be like pointless
yeah.
or temporary.
And
If
it's
anything.
like it's a mixture of that because like I like thinking about like the boy who did go through who went through some of those things or whatever. I lost myself in those situations. I didn't value myself, but so now that I do, it's a mixture of the value and I think defining love for yourself too. Because like if you
Yeah.
don't define it, you know what I'm saying. If you don't really carve it
Yeah.
out, I think you do still run the risk of losing yourself in a relationship again too. Because it's like, oh well, this looks like this is love, right? Like you can't let it be based on like yeah, I think there's common threads, there's basic
Mhm.
knowledge, but you
And
can't
I don't
base it
think
on
anybody,
other people's relationships. You know what I'm saying? I think
I
that
don't think anybody
happens.
can define it for you. I think it's very subjective and
Yeah, yeah,
relative.
and so it's like yeah, you got to define it for yourself, and I think once
Yeah.
you do that, like it's like let's like just thinking again back on the boy who went through all that shit. Like I didn't know what like I thought these things that I thought I was putting myself through these things for love. I thought I was when I would deprive myself of certain emotions because it'd be sometimes I couldn't express myself the way that I wanted to, and it was
Mm-hmm.
like, well, it's just like a compromise right now. No, no, it's not. Like it was like I didn't know
You're
what love
trying not to
was.
realize that now you're looking back at that, and it's just amazing. Like
Yeah,
the journey from before and then now the present
yeah,
is
yeah.
is astonishing.
It was like 12 years ago, and it's like,
Yeah, but I also feel like I don't regret any of it because
no,
if it wasn't for those experiences, I probably would not have the characteristic I have today. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
If it wasn't for those going through that to realize, okay, you have to go through some shit to realize some shit sometimes. And I feel like if it wasn't for those
yeah,
triumphant moments and me testing myself and my limits and my perseverance through those hard moments, or those
mm,
moments where you just feel like, okay, I can do better. Eventually, I'm gonna do better. And you wouldn't be the person you would today.
oh,
I'm firm.
100%.
Yeah.
And I love that you brought it back to spirituality too, because yeah, I mean that's another thought. I think specifically in love, but like even outside of that, I think losing yourself is required to. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, well, yeah, duh. I mean, it literally says it in saying. Because I was about to say is required in finding yourself, but yeah, of course, yes, that's it. So it's like I wouldn't trade those moments either. They were devastating, yeah, but like I lived through them. So like it's like now like oh, whatever. Like I can literally
Yeah.
openly talk about these situations and not and to be honest too, as an artist, it's giving me a lot of fucking fuel. Like to
Yeah.
create, like you need to be able to draw on some of that, and like
Yeah.
it gave me two poem books worth of shit. Like not to say the books is completely about that relationship, but a nice amount are.
Substance, a lot of substance.
So and like I'm working on my acting now. So like when I need to pull on like some anger or some sadness, that's one of my areas. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, let's go back there.
Right.
like, but but yeah, it's definitely required. So that's my next question is so the quote for this one was love is constant forgiveness. Um, and I guess in a sense, I can understand that one,
Mm.
but I want to know, I guess, if you agree, because I mean, it makes me think about, it depends on, because that can be misread. Like I think it go back to base learning or creating your definition of love. So it's like, what are you forgiving?
I think that goes in the sense of um, when people say they love you to what's the word I'm looking for? Like a certain degree.
Yeah.
I can't even. I'm
Yeah,
tired.
no, I feel you.
Um,
Yeah.
what is? It's the C word I'm looking for. It's
Capacity, uh, capability. I don't know.
no, like when they say love is like they love you to a certain degree.
Yeah. Extent. That's the only one I can think of. But
Let's just use extent. I
okay.
think everybody knows what I'm talking about. Like it's been a long day. Um, I think you the quote saying my perspective on that would be like you said constant forgiveness.
Yeah.
Love is forgiveness, or love is constant
Love is
forgiveness.
constant forgiveness.
Yeah, because I think love can be blind to a certain extent.
Mm.
So you can be forgiving and forgiving and forgiving because you are obviously in love with this person. Um, but my whole thing is, I guess that's subjective. Depends on
Yeah. It's like, yeah,
the
like what are they?
or
Yeah.
because if you do some really fuck shit, like I'm out.
Yeah. But like,
I
so
didn't.
then I think it might help you a little bit better to know who the quote came from. Is from Beyonce.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so we know, like, you know what I'm saying, Jay's not been the
Yeah, she
best.
forgave Jay Z,
Yeah, you know, and we see what they are and like how, like, so it's like,
and
so I mean, it's,
are couple.
yeah,
But I feel like at the same, I'm sorry. At the same time, if I use it for like based on my life, like you just can't be. Nice. I guess this
but yeah,
subject.
like you can't make me lose myself. I think is for
You,
me. Like if I'm gonna be forgiving, like I feel like don't make me look stupid. Like I don't know, like
little small mistakes is okay,
yeah,
especially at the beginning.
and people
But I
change and
want to
people
hold you
grow. You
accountable.
know,
I want to hold you full accountable of. See, okay, what I'm basing it off was caught in my mind because my terminology in forgiving is a little bit more different. Like I feel like,
I feel like it's related to dire situations.
yeah, but like once one does something to you that disrespects you, that's my big thing is respect.
Mm,
Respect is really big, and that comes hand in hand with love.
yeah,
So when someone does something big enough that disrespects you, and you only define your own level of respect, nobody else can define that for you.
yeah,
Whether it's on a small scale or something on a big scale. So like when I forgive you, I'm also changing the terminology, the terms and condition of our relationship. I'm not going to forgive you and then move forward. I have to forgive you and make sure this shit doesn't happen again.
yeah,
Now, if it happens, once I change the terminology, because I love you, so I'm going to forgive you in a sense of you ain't do nothing too fucking crazy. You
right.
know, and me changing that terminology to terms and condition of our like making sure this doesn't happen again, making sure you move to a different path or only put you in a category to move a certain way with me, and you still break that, then yeah, that's not love.
Yeah,
I feel like you know what I'm saying. Like
yeah.
that's
So
just
I feel like, so it's more so like for you, like you agree if it's small, like, you know, like this motherfucker keep forgetting to take out the trash every couple of weeks. It's like, God damn it, I
yeah.
told your ass, but you know, it's irritating, whatever. But then if it's
As
like, you know,
far as disrespect,
major, more so of the cheating, you know, shit like that, and it's like, okay, you know, you got one major, like I feel like, and it's not, you know, something I think happens in every relationship, but you know, I think it is always a possibility, unfortunately. And like, okay, one major time, maybe,
mm-hmm.
like if it depends on the level of where we are, but after
It
that,
depends on what it is.
yeah,
It
yeah,
depends on
yeah, yeah,
because it's like, and and then I
Like,
can
what am I
honestly,
forgiving? Yeah, like I said, like, what am
I
I
can
forgiving?
I can forgive you and love you and still not be with you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
because I don't do
yeah.
my respect is more hunger. I'm in dire of hunger. Sorry, I'm in dire need for more respect than it is for you to
Yes.
love.
Ooh.
So
Yeah.
if you,
Okay.
I feel, and granted, I love love. Love is up there, but respect is just is equivalent to
Yes.
me,
Hell yeah.
if not more. So if no, there's no love without respect. That's how I feel. So if I can still love you, I will forgive you, and I will still move the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? And I would just have to be heartbroken
Yeah.
afterwards. But if it's that level of disrespect, it's very hard for me to shake that. I can forgive you. I'm a forgiving woman. God
Yeah.
created a forgiving woman. I have to forgive.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
but I don't have to reconnect. Forgiveness doesn't
Yeah.
require reconnect. And if that's with love lost, then that's what it's going to have to take. Depends on the circumstance of whatever occurred, you know. But
Yeah.
little
So
small
yeah,
things.
like it's literally just like what am I forgiving? It depends,
Yeah.
like that kind of quote, because it's just like it's real open ended, and it's like you said, it's subjective. But so
Conditional. I'm
conditional.
sorry.
Oh shit.
No, y'all.
and that's so. And that's
Y'all knew that's what
so.
I was trying to say. The C
There we
word,
go.
love is conditions. Yeah.
And my brain
That's
kept thinking
that's when I
capacity.
say, okay, but close. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. That's what
I love it.
love is unconditional. Love is
Yes.
or is love conditional? And when I hear that quote, that's what I meant to say.
Got you.
Love is constant forgiveness. That sounds like conditional, unconditional. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
constant forgiveness, that's giving real unconditional love. That's
Yeah.
unconditional.
And it's like,
Yeah.
are you? Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's so subjective because it's like, but I
Yeah.
mean, but okay. Because what I was about to say was like, are you even worthy of my unconditional love? But it's like also we're saying love. We're not, because I have to think. I'm learning to separate my previous situations that were lust and that I didn't under
Uh-huh.
that I thought was love, from
Yeah.
me learning and defining love now. So it's like when I talk about love now, I have to take out those situations that I was in. Like, no, okay, wait. So, but I also haven't necessarily had a situation yet to go off of to compare it to. But I mean, that's fine. I'm not, life happens when it's supposed to. But, um,
But you know what you want for your
yes,
future.
yeah, because I'm carving that out.
Yeah, you know what you think it should look like and how it should be. Now, granted, there's no perfect journey.
No, not at all.
Me and my Pisces created fairy tale world is a perfect journey. Listen, it's so bad.
Oh.
And that TikTok of the girls saying like, yeah, everybody's on the script because Pisces is my moon. Somebody goes off script in my head. I gotta leave them. That's how I
Right.
feel sometimes. It's the truth, and then I can't help it because I created this fairy tale world. But
Yeah.
then how I feel, how people should be, because whatever. But it's it's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, that's hard to.
Perfect. No, and there's gonna be bumps along
Yeah.
the way. Just hopefully not as much as I think that I want them to be.
Yeah. But I think as you grow too, we especially, people in our position, I'll say, we gain the tools to handle that shit as we get older.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah.
like now, if again, we probably more than likely would be going through some of that same old shit, but we get older, different levels, different shit, and we could go through something now, and it's like it would hurt, but having the tools and the knowledge of how to get through it, um,
Yeah, you're more
at this
equipped now.
age, and yeah, it almost makes it like bulletproof. Like, okay, what, like
You
you're
can
like,
conquer. If
yeah,
it's worth it, it's worth conquering. That's how I feel. If it's worth it, it's
yes.
worth
So last question. And I think I want to make it specific to us and
it.
like
Okay.
our situation. So, what advice would you give to young Jasmine who was going through that bullshit?
Young jazz girl.
Like, girl, what? Like,
I
if she just was right there, and you like, girl, you talking to.
advice I would give to young jazz, and it's so easy for me to say this today
Yeah.
because I thought about it over the years. You knew at a young age who you wanted to be as a woman.
Oh, clap for
Oh,
that.
you knew that amongst all your friends. You knew you were different amongst all your friends. You knew you were wise at a young age amongst all your friends. And you set the tone for who you wanted to be. And granted, you didn't do much of. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna say you didn't do much. You bumped your head a little bit, but it's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. It's
But
okay.
the advice I would give myself, you engage, stick to the person that you thought you were intending to be. Don't trail off that path because she
Okay.
comes to life. She comes to fruition.
Ooh, ooh, that's a line. That's a
She comes to
bar. That's a
fruition.
bar.
Who you are today is who you always thought you would be. I never
Yeah.
thought I would be anybody different. Now, granted, I
What the
played dumb.
fuck?
I played along with the bullshit in the past
Yeah.
because I wanted to just test the waters. But I always had the conscience, like, you know, you're better than this. You know what I'm saying? You know where you want to be. I always say that to myself. That never left me. My intuition, my mind never changed since I set the tone for myself at a very young age. I did. And I always projected to be this woman. And I wanted to commit to this person that I am today.
Yeah.
And of course, I had to go through some little shakeup, but it's
Yeah.
okay. Nobody's perfect, but I had to build this character. But like
Yeah, it's like
falling down,
fake it. It's
falling
like
down line.
fake it till you make it. Like I understand that quote so much
Yeah,
different now, older. It just means you have to be the person that you want to be before you are it. Like,
that's pretty much what it is. You have to
you
make
have
the
to
line.
exist as that,
Yeah,
so that
you're gonna change physically, you're
yeah.
gonna change emotionally, but you have to set your mind to who you want to be at a young age and follow that. That's the advice I would give the old me. I would tell her,
Okay.
"You're right.
You
Follow
right,
her.
girl.
That's what you
Follow
want.
that.
She's gonna always come out, no matter what. At the end of the day, she's gonna come out. It
Yeah.
may take time. It may get there when you're grown, when you're full, matured, and everything. But she's always there with you. Be her. Practice her, because that's who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
So that's the advice I would give to young Jazz.
I yeah.
What about
I love that.
what would you tell
um.
Brendan?
Who and it's funny that you said like you have been thinking about it for some years because I have too.
Mhm.
Um, specifically the past like 2 years, like something about turning 30 and like getting closer to 30 just really had me reflecting on my 20s. And the advice I would give myself is don't and it's so cliche, but it's so real. Don't let anybody diminish your light.
Mm.
I like you're bright as fuck. Like you're like a
Yeah.
fucking and like I don't even know a fucking sun upon yourself. You know, like and it's like I've allowed situations and people and just moments to dim that, and I would tell myself like I think it's the creative writer brain or whatever, but like um well, that and a defense mechanism I had of just like preparing myself for the worst things. So I would just think of every bad thing somebody could say to me, every bad thing that could happen in a situation to prepare myself in a sense. Or I would convince myself of all these bad things. And it's like, I didn't realize I was spending more time in a negative space than in a positive space by trying to
Yeah.
protect myself. So
Yeah.
it's like, fuck that. Like, shine as fucking bright as you can. Um, because like you said, like I think we set the tone, like we know who we are from a young age. We just start
We do.
to
Most of us
dim
do. I'm not
it.
gonna
Yeah, yeah,
say,
yeah.
I'm not gonna say
Yeah,
everybody.
let's roll that back.
But
You're right.
let me just yeah, roll
Some
that
of
back.
us,
Everybody, a lot of people don't.
yeah,
Most
yeah,
don't, and majority do. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So like,
yeah. And we
yeah,
just start to
but
like, I
once you
think, dim it.
know, you
Yeah,
know, once you know, like, okay, this is what I want for my future. This is what I want to be for my future, or this is how I want to portray and be perceived.
yeah,
I was always big on being how I want to be perceived for my future. I always said that, like, yeah, I got time to play, I got time to
yeah,
have fun. I said, but at a certain age, it's time to buckle down now
yeah,
because
yeah.
who you want to perceive, not for society, for
But for
myself.
myself, yeah,
For
for myself to maintain, yeah.
one thing I don't go on now, and it's just so sad because society is such sheep right now.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
the validation from people is so sick. It's so sick. The needing the
Yeah.
validation is uncanny, and it's like, what about for yourself? Like, who
Who cares?
cares?
Yeah. Oh my God. Who
Who
cares?
cares outside him? I don't care about nobody else but my damn self. As far as when it comes to
And it's
validating
like,
myself, approving for what I
yeah,
like. Nobody else's opinion matters.
yeah.
They don't run my life.
That's
You know,
literally
so
all that to young Brandon and young Jazz. Like, and then,
young
but
jazz.
like the
So
part,
society's gonna come and go. That's it.
like
Society's
that's
gonna
it.
change. Society's gonna evolve.
Yes, thank you so much for joining me
Oh,
again. I appreciate
thanks for
you.
having me. I
Of
appreciate
course, I
it.
told you I just wrote down literally like while I be working, I'm like jotting down stuff right quick. I wrote down two episodes. Like, okay, yeah, so this one and this one.
Yeah,
So
I'm here for it.
you will get
Here.
a call again soon. Do you want to go ahead and share your Instagram? Plug yourself right quick.
Yes, guys. I do have a private Instagram because privacy. I'm
Yes.
emotionally connected to privacy. So, but if you don't follow
Yeah, I
me,
mean, but she will interview your
oh,
page if your page is
if
nice.
you listen to Brandon podcast, you're worth following me, right? So,
Yes, yes.
if you like to follow me at Rebel Minded Jazz. That's RebelMindedJaz. And
Hey.
yeah, let me know that if you like the podcast and stuff, DM me, and I will surely follow you back.
Oh yeah, and she's a great guest, guys. So if you want to have her on your show too, just make sure the schedule right.
Yeah, girls, let's be
Thanks.
busy. I'll be busy.
Right. Thanks again, love. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Brandon. Definitely, definitely. All
Of
right, this
course.
is
You
fun.
have a good night.
All right, you too. Good night.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Yes. So with this, on a deeper note and having, deeper understanding, I know that I can't allow myself, like basically I can't allow myself to not speak up, to lose myself or compromise on things that I know I just can't. There's a reality that we will compromise in love. We will, um, it's something that will happen. We might lose parts of ourselves, but we should never compromise on things or forgive things or lose ourselves on things that make us feel negatively less of who we are. Forgive things that we know damn fucking well that we can't live with. It's simply put about being true to yourself and your feelings. And I think all starts there. Before I leave you guys, I want to leave you with a poem from my new poetry book. Finally, the second part to my poetic trilogy, um, The Boy Who Stood in the Rain, is out now. The first book, again, is The Boy Who Lucid Dreamed, and it's more of a dreaming feel, more about desire and sex and love. And then this one is just a bit more about less of that. A little bit more of me releasing my pain and my frustrations, and really purifying myself and purging myself of, I guess, like I said, pain and frustrations and self-doubt and distrust in myself and just, you know, melancholy in general. So, again, it's a sequel to The Boy Who Lucid Dreamed, and there will be a third part that'll be coming out later this year, and that'll be the end of the trilogy. But right now, I want to soak it in. Part two is out, so I want to leave you guys with a poem from it, and it's one of my favorites. It is called Recall. Curses bear blessings, and my past is steady haunting me. I remember everything, hard to let it go. You see, I know exactly what you wore. The smell of your scent I adore. The pour of this feeling I'm feeling. Tell me you're headed toward the door. Cause I don't want these memories. Trapped in the storm of recalling. Someone put me in a coma, please. I'm trying to forget all of these memories. They're steady leaking in my mind. Who can I pay for the time to come inside and try and find the source of this fucking leaky pipe? I'm looking for peace. But it always evades me. Because of my uncanny ability to remember everything. I remember everything. Cursed with good memory, wishing I could forget me. Handfuls ain't this much to handle, lest you're mentioning how I think. Cause I remember everything. Again, that was Recall from The Boy Who Stood in the Rain. Check it out on Amazon and Kindle. Thank you guys so much for listening, for coming back for 8 weeks in a row now to hear my goddamn insanity. I love it and I appreciate it more than you guys know. Follow the official Instagram page for the pod, love_journal podcast. Again, both The Boy Who Lucid Dreamed and The Boy Who Stood in the Rain, Amazon and Kindle. Check it out. And until next time, love, love. Peace.